happy with our first day. Great attitude, ran around well. I think last year, other than our scrimmages, I think we were inside every single practice. So to be out here and have the space and be able to work, our guys have done a great job adapting to, working around construction and all the other little things we've asked them to do. And to see them get out here and do some things, and obviously have some new coaches. They're getting adapted to our way of doing it, and so now we'll get in and watch it and find a way to get better. Fire away.
Lance, last spring there was a big emphasis on being physical.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same, or do you pull back a little bit?
I think it'll be. I think we still want to emphasize physicality. We never can be too physical, I guess, as a football team overall. But I think we also have to be very smart of individuals who have played a lot of football and how much and where they're at. I think. So I think we'll have some physical parts of practice. We'll make sure the guys who are the veterans are sharp, but at the same time, I think it's the younger part of the roster that will continue to emphasize that part of the physicality.
For you guys as a staff, like last year was physicality, was the point of emphasis. What do you want the point of emphasis to be this spring?
Well, I think first of all, getting everyone on especially on the offensive side of the ball. Let Jeff get his feet on the ground as a coordinator of adapting our way of doing it. As I've said before, we're going to keep as much of terminology and system to be the same. So he's learning too in some ways, but at the same time, letting him put his stamp on this offense in ways. Defensively, we got DK. I think he's been a great addition. I'm excited about what he'll give our secondary and the defense as a whole as well. So, those things are important, but we also have, other things. And then Daryl kind of jumps right in and sees that we're still doing some of the same practice formats as we did when he was with us before. So I just getting, especially on that offensive side, between new line coach, new coordinator, getting everyone in rhythm, I guess, would probably be the best way to say it. And then again, I think once we get through these first four, then we have a chance to start hitting some emphasis points. And again, quarterback-wise, we want to continue. Jaylen got some work today. Cole, I thought, did a very good job. We have some class conflicts that, Devin Neal will miss a fair amount of practice time, but it's great to have Daniel Heishaw back out here practicing. So there's always going to be some positives in this as we go, and we'll say one in the books.
With the new coaches, continuity's been such a big part of what you do. Do you give your guys any tips or help on how to adjust to the new coaches, or talk about it at all, or just let
players or other coaches?
Players, yeah.
We talked about the addition of what these people will bring, and I think it's going to be, starting with myself as head coach, it's forcing me to make sure that I'm covering things that maybe sometimes you kind of take it for granted, maybe, and you don't want to ever get that way, but you've had coordinators with you for a long time. You trust them to disseminate the information. Well, now sometimes it's new, and it kind of gets us back to making sure we're reviewing it. And same thing with the players. I think there are some things that happened today in practice that I'll kind of re-emphasize, our and my expectations on some small things, nothing major. But and again, I think overall that's going to help us.
How much was Jaylen able to do, and how are you guys going to manage him this spring?
He did some. You're going to keep trying. I'm going to keep giving you those. Okay, he did some. I was really happy the way he threw the ball, and again, we'll keep taking it day by day. But he definitely was out here taking reps. Okay.
How about Isaiah Marshall?
For a young man, a lot of those guys that still should be in high school and worried about who they're asking to prom, and they're out here, playing, and it gets fast, and our pace of things in 11 on 11 is many times 2 huddles, and it's rapid fire, so they got to process really. I was very pleased. Isaiah's his mannerisms don't change whether he's had a great play or whether he's thrown an interception, which is really neat to see somebody with that composure, and I think he showed that today.
You got so many veterans. You won 9 games, big deal around here, obviously, but it seems like that group's still very hungry, almost as if it didn't happen. How much does that help just moving into a new year?
It has to. Matt, we can't sit there and sit there and watch our highlight films or something from last year and read about, no offense again, but about how supposedly good we were. That leaves you looking up pretty quickly. So we got to stay hungry. We got to keep moving. Expectations have changed, obviously, but also the respect factor, and people are going to prepare for us differently.
Can you see evidence of that today? The hunger and just like putting the past behind you?
We talked about it. I might have mentioned it to y'all once before. Is we put so much on these young men that it never stops sometimes. And I've said this before. If you're a non-playoff team in the NFL, you play like New Year's weekend, and you don't walk back into a facility to May. Our guys walk right back into January, and we're going again, and they just played 4 weeks earlier. So to try to make sure we're mentally and physically in a good position and pushing it back this year because of the veteran players that we have that understand, we're trying to stretch out the learning our first couple springs. Now we have a chance to work on physical development more in the weight room, but also I think they took it, and we talked about it yesterday, taking the field excited, not like it never ends and it's a Groundhog Day experience. So.
Someone like Dak had the big injury right in high school.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to see from someone like him this spring?
Yeah, you have guys that, Jaylen Todd was very similar. We've had some other guys in this recruiting class, unfortunately, didn't get to finish their seasons. So you want to get them healthy, and you want to see them back out there and developing. But again, like I said, they should be in high school. We've got to remember, and a lot of times, if you cover recruiting and things like that, that gets people excited, and rightfully so. But we got to remember there's still a growth process, and we'll see who's ready to play as true freshmen and who aren't. But just to have Dak out here, because when he first reported, we didn't think he would be able to do much at all. So to see him out here and taking team reps, I thought was a huge plus.
Lance, what's it like to do your work over here among the backdrop that is back there? I mean,
yeah, every day I've tried not to really, in fact, somebody asked me how it's coming along. In fact, it was Coach Self the other day, and I said, I really don't know. I haven't asked. You see a lot of things moving, a lot of people working.
Yeah.
We come in here early in the morning, and the crews are ready to go here. So that's been highly impressive. It kind of reminds you that, just like your program, you're always under construction, but at the same time, it's really exciting to see what has transpired in this short period of time, and the future's even brighter. Anything else? All right.